So this is a really, really bad idea, guys. I mean, seriously. History has shown us that a lot of really bad things come out of ideas like this. So the administration is actually truly discussing. I thought it was fake news, but no. They are discussing creating immunity cards for Americans, meaning if you have had this thing going on around the world and you have gotten better, you have antibodies in your system for this particular thing. If you have these antibodies, they want to give you a identification card saying that you have these antibodies and that you are allowed to work. If you don't have these antibodies, what? You have to stay at home? You're limited? Do we set up like leper colonies on an island somewhere? Do we build an island somewhere? And if you don't have the antibodies, you're annexed from society? You're done? You're toast? What? No, it doesn't sound right. Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert, said it's possible that in the future, Americans may carry documentation, papers freaking please, to prove they are immune or not infected with the coronavirus. Fauci, who is one of the public health officials on the administration's coronavirus task force, said such a system is one of several options they are discussing. And it shouldn't be an option they're discussing. That they're even discussing it is an issue. That's possible, he said on CNN's New Day. I hope not. Because the minute you do that, then you set yourself up a society where it really is us versus them. The infected versus the, what? The clean? The clean can go to work. No, you're not clean. You can see it now. Come on now. There's going to be all kinds of slang terminology and degrading terminology. You're not clean. You can't go to work. You're the infected. Come on. What? What are we doing? We're discussing it? You shouldn't even be discussing it. This is America. It's one of those things that we talk about when we want to make sure who the vulnerable people are and not. Fauci added, this is something that is being discussed. I think it might actually have some merit. Oh, do you now? Do you now? So papers, please. Okay, so if you have to have papers, right, that prove that you have the antibody in order to work, then the next logical step is, well, you've got to ensure that people who don't have these identification cards aren't out and about. So what do? Well, now you have to set up checkpoints of some sort. Because, well, if you don't have the card, you can't be out of your house. So then you set up this neighbor calling neighbor, hey, I don't think my neighbor has this card. And what does that sound like to you? It's this thing, this event that happened early 1900s, like around 1934, 1935 when it started to kick off. 1938 by the time it really was a hell of a thing, I think. Crazy. Papers, please. And you think it has some merit? That's not good. The director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases also said that within a period of a week or so, there will be a large number of new antibody tests, which allow users to discover whether they possess a unique immune response to the virus. As soon as they get validated, they'll be out there for people to use, Fauci said. It's very likely that there are a large number of people out there who have been infected and have been asymptomatic and did not even know it. And it is possible, yes. But that doesn't mean that we go the direction of creating a super citizen, one that is allowed to work and go grocery shopping. And what if I'm not infected, or I don't have never been infected, or I don't show the antibodies, therefore I could possibly be infected? What? We limit where I can go. I got to call one of the super citizens that has one of those cards to buy my groceries for me because I can't leave my house. I can't work. And if I can't work, who's going to pay my bills? Who's going to feed me? Who's going to clothe me? Who's going to pay for my Xbox and all that other stuff? That's very important stuff, man. I got to have my Xbox. There are more than 475,000 cases of the coronavirus in the United States and nearly 18,000 deaths. Federal officials have expressed interest in trying to reopen the American economy next month. But the health officials disagree on that one. The fact that we are even discussing, the fact that we are at the point where we are even discussing taking our society and dividing it into those who have the antibodies and go to work, and you must carry ID, papers, please. The minute you carry ID or papers, please, the only way papers or ID works is if there's a way to check it, which means you've got to be able to have officers out there on the street as people are walking by. Hey, do you have your antibody paper, whatever they call it, your clean ID, your whatever it is, your I'm not infected or I've been infected and I'm cured papers. It's just absurd. That brings in internal checkpoints. And when I'm saying internal checkpoints, I don't mean these big buildings where you drive through and you stop. I'm talking internal checkpoints of just officers on the street stopping you and hindering you from free travel, which our Constitution guarantees that Americans should have free travel within the United States, unhindered. Thoughts and opinions, guys. Thoughts and opinions. Is this a good idea? Is it okay for them to discuss it? Do you believe yes? Yes, Paramount, it's a freaking great idea because now we can help stop the spread of every goddamn disease. Why don't we just get a flu identification card too, and a cold identification card, and an allergy identification card, and then we'll have one super identification card where if you're one of the super duper special race of human beings who's got the antibodies for COVID, you've never had the flu or you've had the flu and it doesn't hit you hard, and I don't know, let's just get papers for everything, and we'll just start restricting people based upon, their immune systems. How's that? It's where we're headed. You think I'm joking? They're discussing it right now. Now it's our turn to discuss it. What do you think? Your thoughts, your opinions. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay informed. And I'll see you on the next one. Papers.